Hey guys, it's controversial. So I'm just gonna make a video asking the question for the people that believe that the ancient Egyptians were Europeans. I know a lot of people don't believe this anymore, but for the people that do, I just have a quick question. As you know, though, Egypt was founded in 3100 BC, or Kemet was founded in 3100 BC by Narmer, and now, if we're gonna ask the question, did Europeans found it? Let me ask you this question: if Europeans are all the way down in Africa, building pyramids in 2500 BC, in Africa, then tell me why there are no European mainland kingdoms. Why are there no European kingdoms in at all? Before 31, even at the time of Narmer. Tell me, what is the oldest European kingdom you can think of? No, most people can't answer this, but whenever they do answer this, they say, oh, the Mitannites or the Hittites. But whether or not they spoke an Indo-European language, I mean, the Indian languages are so-called Indo-European languages, but they're not white. They're not white. So if you're gonna ask the question, if I'm gonna ask you that question and you say the Hittites or the Mitannites, that's in Turkey or Anatolia, which is in the Middle East. So tell me, I mean, you go around and Europeans go around claiming other stuff and say we claim stuff. They are claiming all these nations that are not even in Europe. But tell me why there is no kingdoms in Europe up until Greece, on the mainland, that is. You know, because they might say, oh yeah, the Indian nations and the Indian kingdoms and the Middle Eastern kingdoms, but tell me why there are no European kingdoms at all. Again, Greece is the oldest, so you're building all these kingdoms in Africa, the Middle East, India, right? But you don't have any kingdoms in your own land. I mean, we are not, as Africans, you guys aren't even allowing us to have our own stuff in our own continent, but all of your nations that you're claiming are not even in Europe because there's no kingdoms in Europe. Tell me, what kingdom in 3000 BC? There is no, but you're saying they're in Africa, but why aren't there any in Europe? All right. So, and also, how are these Europeans building pyramids if there's no pyramids in Europe? I mean, you have the Mayans building pyramids, which is in America. They say that the Mesopotamians built some sort of pyramid type things. The Chinese built some type of pyramids. But why? There's pyramids everywhere. But tell me, why are there no pyramids in Europe? But Europeans are supposed to be so great building all this great stuff, but all the stuff that they're building is not in Europe. I mean, Africa itself is not even the most hospitable landmass for building nations because of how wishy-washy because desertification moves the habitable lands north and south, due to the winds. I mean, you only have one river valley in all of North Africa. So tell me why they're in North Africa or Africa, on the African continent, building all this stuff, but there is no European kingdoms up until Greece. All right. So that is a quick question that I think that I have not even heard a good answer to, and just think about that whenever you try to say something as stupid as that Europeans built the Egyptian civilization, or even any North African or any African anywhere but Europe. They go around claiming stuff and say that we as colored people as people of color are trying to take away from their success when they have not. The fact that Europeans in the first place are telling us that we have not built anything, or that we haven't contributed anything to society. We have all these African kingdoms, but tell me why there are no European kingdoms at this time. Up until almost the Common Era. This is controversial. Oh my God, this is controversial. Signing out. Peace and know thyself.